Okay guys, it's around 8 p.m. at night. I just finished up my leg session, have some dinner, and this morning I've been lying in the sun all day because it's one of the first days that's actually pretty warm here in Barcelona. So I took the full advantage of that and we've been lying in the sun on the beach, pretty red, pretty burnt, but that's okay. Well, I'm not lying in the sun all day because I also created my game plan for this next coming weeks. As you might know, I'm in my weight loss period. Probably 12 to somewhere around 16 weeks. I don't have really a time lapse of what I want to achieve or what I want. But I think it's important when you start your weight loss period that you have a sort of a game plan to stick to and to keep track of the things that you do. So what I will cover in this video are two important topics. Well, actually three. The first one is calculating your calories. So that's what we're gonna do first. The second thing is dividing your macronutrients, so your protein, fats and carbohydrates. And the last topic that I want to discuss in this video, but very briefly, will be my training. So how many times do I train a week? Do I also implement any cardio? That is all going to be discussed in this video. So keep watching if you want to know how to exactly calculate your macros, your calories, and also see my training schedule for the next coming weeks. Here we go.
So to calculate my calories, I use the BENEDICT formula, and this formula is easy to use because you don't need any body fat percentage. So everyone can use this formula, and the first step in this formula is to calculate your BMR, which is your basal metabolic rate. So men and women both have a different formula to use, and this is the formula for the man that pops up in the screen. You need to transform your body weight into kilograms and your length into centimeters to use this formula. And also with women you use a different formula, as you can see right now. And there's nothing much to say, just fill in this formula with the numbers that you have with your personal numbers, and then you have your basal metabolic rate, which is your rest rate, so your metabolism without any other activity. So this is the conversion from pounds into kilograms. If you need to use it, it's divided by 2.2. so if you see my example, 264 pounds divided by 2.2 is 120 kilos. As you can see, I use my own calculation to give an example. So I use 120 kilograms and 200 centimeters to come to the end number of 258 calories for my BMR. So that's my metabolic rate without any other activities than just laying all day in bed. So next thing you need to do is choose your activity level, and you can choose from different levels. And the most common ones are lightly active or average, and average is, well, the most used one. So sedentary is almost no activity, to go to school and office by public transport, and no further activity like any sports or something. Then you have lightly active, which is weekly activity and sport for 3 to 5 hours, but then on just a low intensity. Then you have average, which is going to the gym like 3 to 5 hours, which is the most used for most people. You have active and extremely active, as you can see here is daily active work and sports for 2 times a day, which will be used by the high athletes, and that's kind of people. So my calculation is 2058 times 1.55 because I'm average, and that makes 31.89 calories. This is my maintenance level, so if I don't eat any much higher or lower, I will keep my weight the same. The next step you need to do is to choose your deficit to start with, because you want to lose weight, you have to go under your maintenance level. So my advice is to go between 5 to 20% on a cut for your maintenance calories. Don't be too aggressive at the start, because it's harder to stick to, and it's not the best way to do it, because you're also gonna lose some muscle mass if you're going too aggressive. So how do you calculate that? You use your maintenance calories that you just calculated, and you do it times the number or the percentage that you want. So in my case it's 3189 calories times 0.1, which makes 319 calories. And these 319 calories I need to subtract from my maintenance calories to get to my final number. So this is what I do, and the final number that I get is 270 calories for the 10% deficit that I choose. So this is how you calculate your calories using the BENEDICT formula.
So as you guys could tell from this little animation video about calculating your calories, my final number was 2870 calories for a 10% deficit. Now I'm not going to use that number because I will bump up my calories to 3000, and the reason for that is that last year I did a sort of a mini cut and I also use 3000 calories as a sort of a starting point. So what I will do this year is also start with 3000 because my body responded well to that number. And by the way, that Harris Benedict formula that I use to calculate the calories is a sort of a starting point. So you need to know and need to understand that this is not the magical number that you need. It can be that your body needs lower amount of calories or a higher amount of calories, and that's depending on your activity, on your metabolism, on your lean muscle mass as well. So just use that number as a starting point and then see in the next coming weeks or the next week how your body is going to progress with that number. So now it's time for the second step, and that's dividing your macronutrients and also calculate your macronutrients. And I also created a little animation video for that one.
The first important topic we already discussed, which is calculating your calories, but you also need to calculate your macronutrients in order to divide your proteins, fats and carbs on the right way. So the first step is calculating your proteins, and this is a simple formula. You use 1.8 to 2.0 times your body weight in kilograms. So in my case it's 1.8 times 120 is 216 grams. In the next step you want to calculate your fats, and you do this by multiplying your total daily calories by 0.2 or 0.25. So in my case it's 0.2 times 3000 is 600 calories from fats. Yeah, you want to divide these 600 calories by 9 because 1 gram of fat is 9 calories, as you can see right now on the screen. For protein and carbs it's both 4 calories per gram. So you need to use that 9 calories, and that's why you need to divide it by 9. So in my case it's 600 divided by 9 is 66 grams of daily fats. The next step and the final step is calculating your carbs, and you need to go your grams of protein times 4 because you want to transform it into calories, and also plus the calories from your fat. So in my case it's 216 for my protein times 4. Now you see the number in the screen, plus that 600 calories from fat is 1464 calories. And you need to subtract that number from your total daily calories, as you can see here in the screen. So you need to subtract the proteins and the fats. So it's 3000 minus 1464 calories is 1536 calories. Wow, that's a lot of numbers right here. So you need to divide that number also by 4 because it's also the carb. So 1 grams of carb is 4 calories, which makes 384 grams of carbs. So these are my daily totals, and this is what I'm going to use in the next coming weeks.
So yeah, that's it guys. It's everything that you need to know about calculating your calories and calculating your macros. I showed you the way how I did it and how you can do it for yourself. So that's a very important topic that I already covered in this video. And as I also mentioned earlier in this video, that I will cover another topic, and that's training. So my training doesn't change when I'm bulking or cutting, because I've been using an upper lower split in the time that I've bulked, and I also will use an upper lower split when I'm cutting my weight loss. So that doesn't change. Maybe the training itself will change with repetitions and maybe some rest periods, but I will train with an upper lower split where I will train 4 times a week. So it's upper lower rest, then an upper lower and rest. So with my upper training I will train my chest, my back, my shoulders, a little bit of arms, and lower is just my legs, my calves and my abs. So that's basically it. In the next video I will tell you exactly what I do in the training, so I also have some training footage for you as well. And that's all I want to say in this video, because the main topic for this video was to calculate your calories and to calculate your macros. I think that's a very important point to do if you're starting with weight loss or you're trying to lose weight. It's very important to know where you're at, where you want to go, what your numbers are, and with this way you can just easily calculate your calories. And it's not a magical number, but it really helps you to create a kind of a starting point to know where you need to go. And that's the end of this video. I will see you in the next video with some footage of my training, maybe my morning routine as well. So yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.